Okay, everybody, so our new math lesson is topic 11, and this introductory page right here just has the students looking at the picture and answering these prompts as you guys are kind of incorporating some math and science today. So it looks like today's is about ant colonies. So go ahead and read through the bottom here with your kiddo. Again, it's like an introductory problem, but really what we're going to be working on is our numbers to 100. So we're going to be looking at the different ways that we can count our numbers to 100, and we're going to be using what's called a 100 chart for that. So we're going to go through the topic introduction, which that should not have happened. Hopefully we can get this program up and running. I don't know if you guys are having problems with Pearson. If you are, that's just let me know. That's why I recommend doing the worksheets on paper pencil, because sometimes this website gives you a hard time. So let's try that again. Okay, so there's a review that begins the lesson. So again, you're going to follow through the instructions here. Draw a circle around the number 19. Students, so you're going to find 19. How do we make a 19? It's a 1 and a 9. Okay, on number 2, you're going to draw a circle around the addition expression that makes 16. So you have to decide, kiddos, does 10 plus 6 make 16? Or does 3 plus 10 make 16? So you need to decide what it makes, and you need to circle the right answer. Okay, so decide and circle. On number 3 here, you need to show how to make 18. So does 10 plus 4 make 18? Or does 8 plus 10 make 18? Okay, and hopefully your kiddos are starting to see the pattern. Now whenever we have a 10, this number in the ones place just replaces that 0, and they know they can do that automatically with mental math. It's okay if they're not seeing that pattern yet. Some students see it quickly and some need a little bit longer. Whichever way is fine. If they need to count these, they can do that too still. On number 4, you need to count the objects, kiddos, and you need to write the number that tells how many. And then I need you to draw a circle around the number that is greater. Greater, or más in Spanish. We're looking for the number that means more. So we're going to count the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We write a 7 here across the sky, down from heaven. That's the way we make our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, it's a curved line and a loop. There are no tricks when you make 6. So you're going to be making your 6 here. I haven't done these rhymes now with you guys for a little while, so I almost forgot that one. And then you decide, is 7 or is 6 greater, more, or más? You circle the number that is greater. So 7 is greater than 6. There are more drums here. You're going to do the same thing with number 5, count and write, and the same thing with number 6. And if you need to pause the video to do that, that's fine to come back to this if you want your kiddos to catch up, or do that first. I'm not going to pause or wait for you guys. So we have vocabulary words that starts every lesson. We've been talking about these vocabulary words for quite a while now. Some of these are new, so these ones on the bottom are new, but the students have learned the word pattern, ones, and tens. So we're going to, like in this example, the kiddos are going to be cutting the vocabulary cards out, okay? And then, again, it's a vocab card, it's a flashcard, so the word is on the front, the definition is on the back. So you'll have your kiddos cut these out, and then as we go to the next page, it should have the examples of the definitions here. Okay, so each one should match. So this should be the definition for tens, this should be the definition for ones, and this should be the definition for pattern. So what we try to get the kids to recognize in a pattern is that the numbers are in some kind of a special order, and typically patterns repeat themselves. Now with working with numbers, they may not always repeat, but they're going to be in a special order. So here the pattern 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the kiddos are trying to recognize that we count by tens. The pattern here is counting by tens. Okay, for our ones card, they're going to point to the colored numbers. So here we're going to go in each column: 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, and so forth. And we want the kiddos to recognize that as we move down the chart, the ones are staying in the same place. We also want them to recognize that we're counting by ones as we go across the chart. Now, this is going to be this is going to be pretty much what the whole entire unit is about, these ones in this 10 place here. So it's okay if they don't do that right away today. For our vocabulary word tens, we want the kiddos to recognize that the first number in a 2-digit number is the tens place, and as they look at a 100 chart, we'll see that the tens here stay the same until they get to the last number on their 100 chart. So they don't change until we hit that 10 place, 10, 20, 30, for example, but the rest of the teens here would all have a 1 in the tens place. The 20s have a 2 in the twos place, in the tens place, excuse me. So again, this is just an introduction. These are great things to review every day before you start a lesson. We're also going to be reviewing the word column, and they really haven't had too much familiarity with that word. So a column, we tell them, is a vertical row. It goes up and down. Okay, so we want to be able to recognize and run our fingers across the columns here of our 100 chart. Our 100 chart has numbers 1 all the way to 100. It has rows of 10, so every time we move down a row, and again, rows are going across, that's why this is lit up here blue. Every time we move down 10, the row advances 10 more. So the column goes up and down, the row goes horizontal or left to right, side to side. It's going to help the kiddos recognize patterns, again back to this word, when we are counting numbers to 100. And then the word decade is a new number. They have probably not heard that before. So the decade numbers are the numbers that are counted when counting by tens. So we say these are our decade numbers, counting by tens. They have never heard that term before, so that will be new. Okay, so that's it for the introduction to this part of the video. I do want to show the kiddos one quick video on here that you can watch together. So I'm going to put that on right now for you guys.
Busy, Busy Bee. Written by Grace Jeans. Illustrated by Gary Colby. Bee buzzes past one flower by a tree. We can count the flowers by 5 trees. Flowers!
So I want the kiddos then to count how many flowers bee buzzes past. Every time they pass a tree, there's a flower. So kiddos, go ahead and count. How many flowers do you see? There should be 5.
5. Bee zigzags past 10 flowers by a door. Count the flowers by 2 doors. Flowers.
Okay, so students, now you're going to go ahead and count the flowers by the 2 doors. I'm going to give you a second to do that. You can pause the video.
20.
So we know if there's 10 here and there is 10 here, that makes 20 flowers. To make a 20, it's a 2 and a 0.
Bee zips to 10 flowers in a line. Count the flowers in 5 lines. Flowers.
Okay, so you can try to find a way to count the flowers in the row. Remember, there are 10 flowers in each row. You can pause the video to do that. I'm going to keep going. I would count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How do you make a 50? A 5 and a 0.
50. Bee zooms to 10 flowers on a pen. We can count the flowers on 6 pens. Flowers.
Okay. Again, students, go ahead and figure out a way to do that by pausing the video, but I'm going to show you what I would do. I would count by tens on each pen. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
60.
How do you make a 60? A 6 and a 0. So we just reviewed our decade numbers. Again, that means our numbers that we say when we count by tens. Okay, and that's it for today. There is no actual math lesson that goes with this. Remember, it's just an introduction. Hope this helps. Have a